Okay, I got some papers picked. Just going to start turning them into the double pages for our signature. The plural, making 3 signatures. And I also picked out some old laces that I have picked up recently. Actually, this one I got last summer. I bought it at a museum. There was a set of cuffs and a collar, and it was this color already. I didn't dye this. So I have used bits and pieces of it. I like the little flowers, so I wanted to incorporate that in. So I've pulled that out of my stash, and I've got this little doily that I really like, and I got this lace trim. I just pressed it and starched it. So I've got a variety of hand crocheted laces. Then we'll move that. I'm still in the process of choosing a couple of things. I gotta see where we are. Okay, so the first page was okay, this. So I did this in the last video. I used washi tape to glue the 2 pages together to make one double page. I took some other pages from the same book, and these ones, they're fairly blank, so they're the chapter title pages. So this one says my roses, my lilacs, my phlox, and my nasturtiums. And that's when my brain started turning, and I started thinking, you know, this 1926 is sort of the same era when the flower fairies started to be published. So I'm sure you've seen them, but they're originally very early 20th century. Illustrations by Cicely Mary Barker, who was a British artist. And around that time, this whole fairy theme was really big. So she wasn't the only one doing fairies. And I thought, you know what? There's a phlox fairy, a rose fairy, a lilac fairy, and I have a ton of flower fairy stuff. I've wanted to do a flower fairy journal for a while, so I thought I'm just going to pull in a couple of pieces. So that's 3 pages. I've got 3 pages of coffee dyed ledger paper, nice pale green color. I thought worked really well with this. I should turn it over, with this washi tape that I've been using. So I've just folded that in half, and I've put a little lip here. I'm going to add some of this lace here to make a little tuck spot on each page. And I've got 6 sheets of coffee dyed paper. I'm not sure that I'm going to put 2 in every signature, but I'm definitely going to put 1. So now I started thinking, okay, what else have I got? I took these 2 pages out of a gardening book that I had, a flower book that I had, and they're a little long, so I folded them up, and I thought I'm just going to stitch this little ruffle at the bottom on each one. So this was just some fabric that I had. I just put my hand to, and there you go. So I might layer something on top of that, maybe a little image of a fairy or something, and then stitch that down. I was thinking I might like leave that for like a little tuck spot too. We'll see. So that's got to be sewn. I found this card with a beautiful rose on it, and this was a mouth painted, I think. Yeah. It's called Red Roses, but those look pretty pink to me. Original paint P. Delure. This is probably 1980s era, but I thought the greens were nice. Yeah, so that's kind of an iffy. I pulled these two images out of one of my Flower Fairy books, and I thought I would put these, I could adhere these at the center here to make another page. Same thing with the Phlox Fairy. So that's 3 more pages. I've got this. This was a big index card. Had initials on it. I just covered that up with a tab that I punched out using a tab punch. And this nasturtium fairy, I backed him on file folder, and I think I'm going to make him into a pocket. So this will be a flip out off one of the pages and make him a pocket. So that's what I'm going to do with that. So that's one page. I found this piece of music. It's called Lilacs and Lupins. Is it too long? It's barely too long, so I'll just trim a little bit off of the bottom. How come I can never find what I need? I'm so busy thinking about lace. I forgot to think about anything else. So it was fun flipping through my books because I was able to find some really good images to make ephemera with. Oh, come on. Seriously? Where's my knife? How is this a thing? Oh my gosh. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna have to go find a knife. Alright, I found a knife. Anyway, I decided not to cut this off. I'm just going to score it. And hold it. Give that a little glue. Giving myself brain pain here. So I have to open up a new bottle of glue. Do I? Maybe I don't. Now, I heard a tip that if you just cut a hole, so I just cut a little hole in the top, that you'll have less incidence of the glue splurking up. You know how it does. So we'll see what we can do about that. Oops, I think I went a little offside. So the reason I did that is because I'd like to put a little bit of trim on here as well. I'm thinking I don't want to make it too lacy, but at the same time I want it very Edwardian. How much do we need to trim off? Quite a bit. I think I need to. So this is an older book as well. This came out of so it's a little soft. I really wanted the clefts. I'm going to have to take a little more off the bottom or the top. There, that's better. So I might need to reinforce the bend here, just because the paper is a little it's a little iffy. There we go. Now, I want to do, I'm leaving all these pencil marks on here, why not? Maybe I'll have the, so the lace I'm going to cut just a little long, and I'll trim it down later. I don't feel compelled to put lace on both sides, or even have matching lace on both sides. If I do both sides, that doesn't rise up into my priority levels. So that's on. I will stitch over that just for a little decor. Okay, so that's one. I had another fun thing that I don't know what I did with. It was from another Flower Fairy book. And hopefully I've got it here. It was a map. I don't know what I did with it. That's okay. Actually, it's not okay. That's what I want to use next. Oh, here it is. So this came out of a Flower Fairy book. I need to cover the back somewhat. I peeled it out as gently as I could. So I'm thinking that I will. Isn't that pretty? I think I'll put it in this way, and then this will be a flip out, so I can cut that off. I fell in love with this one because it was green. So I gotta figure out what to do here. I think I will just use a piece of the book page. Oh, it's a little too big. We're gonna have to trim this down. I thought it was the right size. Nuts. Well, maybe I won't use it. I hate to cut this. I guess the best I can do is cut off the numbers. I hate this. Oh, man. But it has to go in. Okay. Held my breath there. I could use an old piece of music. I believe I'm going to get ink here. I think I'm going to do both. carrying this because I want it to go the other way. So if I go like that, and then go like that over top. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. All right. And where is my... Oh, I'll use this for scrap. This is a shopping bag that I bought something in, I don't know. And I pulled it out because I thought, oh, that's a pretty image. But I don't like the paper. It's really bleh. So I'm just going to use this as scrap paper to ink on. Some of the other pages I'm going to need to ink up a bit because they're a little too white for this book. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. I gotta clean this desk off. I spend so much time looking for stuff. Oh, so frustrating. Oh, Nancy, you wanted it the other way. Make like a little collage on here. I got these really cool phrases the other day. That had oh, just an assortment of different phrases. I'm gonna move this a bit. And then trim it down. There they are. It's called Proverbs to Go. So maybe I'll see if I can find a nice little gardening proverb. Sorry if I get my head right in here. It's just a hair there that I need to trim off. That's good. Okay. looks a little crooked. That's going to bother me, so I'm going to have to do a little smidge of a trim here. I have no idea which of the fairy books this came from. This one, I think it was like something about history of fairies or something. I don't remember. But you do see fairy books, like How to Be a Flower Fairy and My Flower Fairy Journal, and yeah. So if you're interested in flower fairies, keep your eyes open. You'll see them. Not flower fairies, but I mean books. I suppose if you keep your eyes open, you might see fairies too. Wouldn't that be interesting? Trim out with my scissors before I make a complete hash of it. Okay. Beautiful, I love that. I'll just take a quick look and see if there's anything in here I can use. Some of these are really nice. Ah, look at that one. One generation plants the trees, another gets the shade. This one says the best things in life are free. I'll have to take a look. I might use the tree one. I don't know. I'll keep it out just in case. Anyway, there's a lot here I can look through at another time. So this is Kane Company. Let's see if there's a date on it. It's called Proverbs to Go. I've never seen these before. I got them at a yard sale on Saturday. Got them for free, actually. I suppose, I guess I would consider them free. I was buying a group of stuff, and she quoted me a price, and then I picked up this and I said, can I throw this in too? And she said, yeah. So, okay. So I need to make one more. Oh. Do I need to make one more page? 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14. Maybe I'll just get some book pages from an old gardening book. I have one here, but I think I have another one upstairs that I'll take a look for. Anyway, so I will turn off the camera now to do the sewing, and I'll come back and show you what I've decided to do with the signatures. Okay, we'll see you again in a minute or two. Okay, sorry about the glare. I need the light to see, but I know it glares off of things. All right, so this is a greeting card that I showed you earlier. What I want to do is make a little pocket on it using a little doily. So here's the little doily I want to use. And my intention is to let it hang a little here and hang a little there. So let's see if we can do this. Ugh, got glue all over the place. Okay. So I'm just going to dab along those two. This one will be completely on the card, and then dab. This one will be completely on the card, and if I need more, I'll add more. So I don't know if you noticed how I did that. I lined it up on the lines on my board here. Okay. Now, in my previous pocket, I let this flip down a bit and hung a little charm from it. And I'll do that again, but I think I want half of this fully on. Come on. Come on, glue. I want half of that fully on. Okay. Now, I'm going to think about stitching it. I don't think I need to. But then, like, a little tag can be put in there, right? So that is that little project. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, I needed another page, so I pulled out this piece of music. It's a little whiter than I'd like. I did use an edge punch, so I'm just going to gently ink that up. I don't want to tear it at all. This piece of music, copyright is 1925, so still of the era. And it's called Only a Rose, so I thought that was sort of fitting for our garden theme. It just occurred to me, I have got some cigarette cards with flowers on them that are sort of from the 1910s. Maybe I'll have to dig those out and see what's going on with them. I know watching the ink is kind of boring, but I just sort of wanted to demonstrate. That you don't necessarily have to have old paper to achieve an old look. Now I've torn it a teeny bit there, or have I? Oh, no, actually that's the way it's supposed to be. Those two little finger things are not attached. So I gotta be careful with the finger things. Okay. So just to sort of give you a look, see what it looks against the white. I think that's really effective. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to add that tip in. So I inked this up and double stitched, some messy stitching around there. This will be going like this in the journal. So I think I want the pocket that way. So I didn't adhere the picture to it and then stitch it because I wanted to leave this side blank. So I did the stitching first, and now I'll do the gluing. I used the same crocodile corner, what do you call that thing? It's got a funny name. Chomper? Corner chomper, I think. The 1/2 inch side on all the corners on the card. Well, not the card, the part that's going to get adhered, but on this card and on the image. Okay, I think that's more or less square. And I'll get my handy dandy bulldog clips here. I'm telling you, if you don't have these, you need to go get them. Okay, one last thing I need to do. So the coffee dyed papers that I use, these were taken out of a sketchbook or something, because they're longer than 11 inches, so longer than your typical copy paper. So you'll see that there's perforations here from the stitching when it was stitched into the book, and there's also an actual perforation here so that you could tear the pages out of the book. So what I've done is I've taken some pages from the book. Now the book, the original book had little images of flowers on every page in the bottom. So I've torn some of this out, leaving a little bit of text, and I just gently inked the edge. It was kind of hard to choose which side to use because they're all so beautiful. And I'm just going to glue that over top to reinforce that. It didn't go on as straight as I wanted it to. There we go. And I'm going to do the same to the back so that I want it so the text goes to the edge, to the inside fold, I mean. That's better. that upside down? Nope. You're okay, Nancy. There we go. So when I open it in the signature, I have a little image there, and a little image there. Isn't that great? I think that's really nice. Okay. Okay, I think I'm ready to flip through these signatures now. So right now the pages are pretty plain. I'm still, in the process of thinking about embellishing the pages, adding pockets maybe, doing a little stamping perhaps. So let's just flip through. So first signature, first page, includes this little flip out, coffee dyed paper, greeting card, ledger paper, and it has this little tuck spot here, music paper, more coffee dyed paper, and then the backs of all of those things. There's that little pocket that I made by gluing. This has got a rough edge, that's why it's kind of flipping around there. So I made this by gluing the doily down, and I'll probably add like a little something to hold this, like a little pin or something there. And next signature is book page, coffee dyed paper, book page, coffee dyed paper, ledger, and this is that flip out map that flips out that way. Little tuck spot on the ledger, another book page, and that's, oh, this is the last page of the signature. Next one is book page, coffee dyed paper, book page. The other one has a little flippy too. Ledger, music paper, coffee dyed paper, and then the reverse of all of those. So that's the 3 signatures. So I think I'll shut this video down now, and when we come back together again, we'll start working on some embellishments. So thanks so much for watching the video. Come back soon and see the next steps.